They say history is written by the victors, but in some cases, history isn't written at all. It's melted, burned, erased, scorched into stone, then buried beneath the sands of time. Not forgotten by accident, but hidden on purpose. Because scattered across this planet are ruins that make no sense. Walls fused like candle wax, stones bent and warped like plastic, structures that seem to have been hit, not by fire, but by something else. Something precise, something intelligent, something we no longer understand. Today, they call it erosion, earthquakes, time. But you don't need a PhD to know. Time doesn't vaporize granite. Let's begin where the cracks show first. In Scotland, there are over 60 ancient forts with vitrified walls, meaning the stone was exposed to such high heat, it melted and rehardened like glass. There is no explanation, no sign of torches, bonfires, or volcanoes. And even today, we can't replicate that process without industrial-level technology. So who melted those walls? And why? In Peru, the fortress of Sacsayhuaman stands like a scar from another timeline. Massive, interlocking stones, some weighing over 100 tons, fit together with such impossible precision that not even a razor blade fits between them. Some of those stones show signs of being softened, as if molded like clay. Were they heated, vibrated, altered at the molecular level? The Inca didn't build it. They admit it was already there. They called it the work of the gods. So who were those gods? And why does this story repeat everywhere? In Kilit, Turkey, we find Göbekli Tepe, 12,000 years old. That's 7,000 years older than the pyramids. Advanced carvings, astronomical alignments, sophisticated stonework. But then it was buried intentionally. Not by wind, not by sand, by human hands. Who builds a temple complex 12,000 years ago, then buries it as if to protect it from something? Or someone? Let's talk about India. The ancient text known as the Mahabharata describes a war between gods, fought with flying machines, sound weapons, and for blinding explosions. One passage reads, "A single projectile charged with all the power of the universe, an incandescent column of smoke and flame, as bright as 10,000 suns." Does that sound like mythology or a nuclear weapon? Because here's the kicker. It doesn't just describe the weapon. It describes the after effects. Hair and nails falling out, birds falling from the sky, food contamination, water boiling, people who died without wounds, as if their insides were cooked. Now look at Mohenjo-Daro, an ancient city in present-day Pakistan, thousands of years old, perfectly planned, with streets, sewage systems, and geometry far beyond its time. But the residents? Frozen mid-step. Skeletons lie face down in the streets, some holding hands. No trauma, no signs of battle, and most chilling of all, elevated radiation levels. In the soil. Trinitite, the glass that forms after a nuclear blast, was found in the area. But there's no crater, no natural explanation. So what happened there? A natural disaster? Or the first weapon of mass destruction? Still think this is mythology? Then let's go to Egypt. Because the Great Pyramid isn't a tomb. It never was. No mummy has ever been found inside. No hieroglyphics. No markings of a burial site. Instead, it's built with conductive materials. Granite, quartz, lined chambers, perfect alignment with the Earth's magnetic fields. Christopher Dunn, an engineer, proposed something radical. The pyramid was an energy amplifier. Water ran beneath it, quartz vibrated. The entire structure acted like a tuning fork, resonating with the Earth's natural frequency. In short, it was a machine. A generator, not of electricity, but of vibrational energy, the kind that can power cities. or destroy them. Now compare that to what Nikola Tesla, who attempted to build wireless energy towers. Using similar principles, he spoke of harnessing the planet's natural frequencies, of free energy for all. And what happened to Tesla? His funding was cut, his lab was burned, and his documents seized. Suppressed? Or silenced? Let's go global now. In the American Southwest, Navajo legends speak of Star people who wielded fire from the sky. In Ireland, the Tuatha De Danann arrived in ships that floated on wind. In Africa, the Dogon tribe knew the orbit of Sirius B, a star invisible to the naked eye, long before telescopes existed. All of them talk about ancient sky battles, weapons, blinding lights, people fleeing underground. Sound familiar? Because right now, we're told, sound weapons are a new idea. But ancient stories speak of walls being shattered by trumpet-like devices, of giants crumbling in battle from an invisible force. These aren't fairy tales, they're memories, encoded in myth, retold as legend. Because history, real history, was too dangerous to keep intact. And that leads us to the surreal conspiracy. If these weapons existed, why were they erased? Because energy is control. Imagine a world where anyone could pull power from the air, where civilizations didn't need oil, gas, or centralized grids, where sound and frequency could heal or kill. Now imagine the world leaders who'd lose power overnight. That world had to be destroyed, and it was. In fire, in floods, in war, and finally, in silence. What we're left with are broken pieces, ruins, myths, stone scars left by weapons we no longer possess. Or maybe we're just not allowed to. Because every few hundred years, when humanity gets too close to the truth, it gets reset. Next time, on Beyond Official Records, they call it just a fort, but the same star-shaped building appears across the planet, from France to Indonesia to the American Midwest. They say it's coincidence. We say it's a signature. Tartaria, the Star Fort Conspiracy. Coming soon.